Hi, I'm Matt Dukes. I'm the mayor of Midwest City. I want to welcome you to our inaugural taping of the City Spotlight. This is our attempt to keep you up to date and bring you up to speed on what's going on in the city and let you know and meet some of the individuals that are working behind the scenes to make Midwest City America's model city again. Today I want to introduce you to Robert Coleman. Robert's the Economic Development Director for the City of Midwest City, and he's the man behind the scenes on a lot of the projects you see ongoing or have read about in the newspaper. Robert, how are you doing today?
Doing great, sir. Thank you.
Robert, we are celebrating 75 years of cooperation with the Tinker Air Force Base. Obviously, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Tinker. And they make up a good part of our overall economic development. As Economic Development Director for the City of Midwest City, what are you doing to diversify our economy in the city and strategies that you're looking for to bring other industries and businesses?
Well, Mayor, I don't know if we'll ever completely diversify away from Tinker. It's a $4.4 billion impact on the Oklahoma economy, and it is certainly of utmost importance to both Midwest City and the rest of the state. However, as part of the 2008 Comprehensive Plan, we have tried to create some new job opportunities. As you know, when the Midwest Air Depot was first founded 75 years ago, most of Midwest City worked there. Because of transportation, that number's come down to somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 in a dozen Midwest City residents work at the base. Still very important in our community, but we're trying to create new jobs, new technical jobs, and new living wage jobs at the Soldier Creek Industrial Park.
What do you see as the emerging area of employment for our area outside of Tinker Air Force Base?
Tinker has a lot of science, technology, engineering, and mathematical related jobs, and I don't think that in the future we're going to get away from that. There's going to be even more growth in that sector, and we would like to attract tech jobs. We depend greatly on our local technology center and Rose State College to make employees ready to go to work, and we're very fortunate to have those here. We work quite frequently with Rose State in our training efforts, and we hope to utilize them on future projects.
One of the biggest announcements in a number of years in the city has been the announcement of the Warren Theater contract. How long did you work on that?
Well, as you probably remember, the last commercial movie shown in Midwest City was in 2009. In 2009, there was a big digital conversion, and a lot of these smaller theaters closed. In fact, we lost 5-6 screens in the matter of just a couple of years. And then Tinker Air Force Base also lost their theater. So there were efforts to bring new entertainment to Midwest City even before I started with the city a few years back. We worked on recruiting a movie theater very, very hard in 2014, 2015, and then finally the opportunity began to arise to contract with Warren toward the end of 2016. And here we are today, and the Warren Theater will be a great addition to our community. And it is one of those very rare instances where you can create a regional draw that will bring people in from well outside of our market. I think they're counting on an audience of somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 to 300,000 people to frequent that theater at one time or another over the course of a year.
In terms of revenue, what will that look like for the city of Midwest City in terms of sales tax dollars?
Well, the Warren is the crown jewel of a bigger development known as the Sooner Row Shopping Center. We've already got Academy out there, and we've already got Hobby Lobby. And what the Warren will help us do is bring more people into the restaurants that are going to be at this center. Now, as you know, the Warren Theater is part of a tax increment finance district, and until that district is made whole, the sales tax from the Warren, 100% will be dedicated toward paying that note off. But meanwhile, less than a penny of the sales tax from the restaurants and the retailers in the same center go toward that debt. So the impact will be immediate as soon as the stores begin to open. But I want to look at the Warren as something bigger. The theater itself will employ probably somewhere around 100 people, maybe a few more, but the center is going to bring about 300 new jobs to Midwest City. Of course, not all of them are going to be high-paying management jobs. We expect somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 of those jobs to be close to six-digit incomes, but there are going to be so many opportunities out there for students from Rose State and from the local school district to get part-time work at something they will enjoy.
What do you see down the road past Warren as far as other economic development opportunities for our city, and what does our overall commercial stock of land look like?
Well, it's kind of tight, and the opportunity to partner with Sooner Investment at the Sooner Road Shopping Center was somewhat unique. Town Center Plaza has a considerable amount of land that's tied up on the south side near the interstate, which is where a lot of retailers want to be at. And past Sooner Roads, it's very difficult to see any more large-scale developments such as that. We will focus on infill, trying to create new opportunities, especially for restaurants, which is the booming industry right now, and we'll focus on that more. And I look at the Douglas corridor, the Douglas Boulevard corridor, and I see opportunity there. And there may be additional opportunity in redevelopment of South Air Depot.
The north side of Midwest City is lacking in some economic development. Do you have any plans, or have you looked in the future and see what we can do to continue to grow that area and bring it back into a draw for our local citizens?
There are some opportunities on the north side that we try to make, especially industrial companies, aware of. The north side of the community, Soldier Creek Industrial Park for one, has enterprise zones. It also is in a U.S. Small Business Administration hub zone, which gives businesses out there a little leverage when they're dealing with the federal government or trying to sell products on Tinker Air Force Base. There are also parts of the north side of Midwest City that are in areas that are eligible for new market tax credits. And I'm not an expert on new market tax credits, but I can tell you that they can really influence the amount of interest people will pay on a long-term note. With that said, there's Highway 62, 23rd Street, carrying 20,000 cars a day, and we hope to promote that a little bit more to the retailers and to the restaurant operators that are looking for those opportunities.
What other opportunities do you see coming down the pike from Midwest City?
Well, you know, it's real strange, but ever since Inauguration Day, we have had a large number of industrial contacts. Prior to the new administration coming to office, we may have received 1 or 2 contacts from the Department of Commerce every month, every 3 weeks or so. But since January, we've had the opportunity to respond to requests for proposals on 4 different industrial ventures. And that's not glamorous, it's not bringing new sales tax in, but what it can do, especially on the north side of the city, it can create living wage jobs that aren't there right now. One of the companies that we're courting, we got our fingers crossed on, would start with about 50 jobs and could expand up to 120 jobs. And these are good, decent paying jobs with benefits. But that's not the only one. That's the one that we're the closest to. We've also got 2 other active proposals out there, and hopefully we'll get one or the other.
Let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that's the Heritage Park Mall.
The what?
The Heritage Park Mall.
I heard of it.
It's we released the feasibility study. We gave it to the mall owner. Where are we and where are we going?
Coming along very slowly. Heritage Park Mall is one of the 3 top questions that I get asked when I'm out amongst the public. Number 1 being when are we going to get a movie theater? Well, I can answer that one now. Should have an opening sometime in 2018. And the third question is usually, when are we going to get fill in the blank with whatever retailer? So Heritage Park Mall is a solid 2, and I guess that moves it into number 1 since the movie theater is coming along. I wish I could give you a date that we would see a new development at that mall. But at this point, we're patiently working with the owner and trying to figure out a way that any way that we can help him. The study revealed there is still some possibility for retail sales at that corner, in addition to office, and there was even some discussion of mixed use, maybe with some residential blended in. Our next meeting with the owner will occur on Monday, and we're hoping that they have some answers. He is working on deadlines that were imposed by code enforcement and by the fire department to meet certain criteria, and we're hoping that he has addressed those problems and that we can move forward and maybe get to a point it can be reoccupied.
Great. Thanks, Robert, for being here. I know
You're
you're a
welcome.
busy guy, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us. This is our first taping of City Spotlight, and we will be bringing this segment to you on a routine basis to bring you up to speed on what's going on in Midwest City and have different directors to let you know on how our city operates. Thank you for being with us.